we are going to perform an experiment. The aim of the experiment is to determine the variation of excitation of synchronous motor, and hence we are going to plot a V curve for various load. So the first thing is, what is the V curve? For a synchronous motor, we are having one armature current and one is the field current. So by varying the field current, that is the excitation current, armature current varies, and the armature current varies like this. So the shape of the curve is like V. Hence we said that hence we named it as a V curve. So whenever the excitation is increased beyond this point, means whenever the armature current is minimum armature current, after that if we'll vary the excitation, so we'll get a leading power factor here, the machine get overexcited. And if whenever we are increasing the field current from when the armature current reduce from a particular point to a minimum value, at that time period when we increase the excitation current, that point is known as a lagging power factor time. Means here the machine get under excited, and at that point when the machine get a minimum armature current, that point is known as unity power factor. Whenever this one is for one load, whenever we are going to vary the load, the graph shifted upward like this. So with the variation of field current, we are getting different value of armature current. We are going to plot it for different load. That is the aim of our project. So here we are now we are going to perform an experiment and then see how the armature current varies by varying the field current. So here is the circuit model of the synchronous motor. This one is the starter. We are having to supply a current to a stator. This one is the stator winding connected in a delta connection. We are using a voltmeter and ammeter here to measure the voltage and current. This voltmeter and ammeter are MI type, and this one is the rotor side. We are having a field winding here connected at the rotor. We are supplying a DC current, means we are exciting the field winding by a DC source. Why? Because we want to get a constant flux here. Hence we are excited the motor by DC supply. So here we are supplying current, means we are supplying to both stator and rotor both. That's why the synchronous motor is a doubly excited motor. Since we are going to excite the field winding by a DC supply, so we are using a voltmeter and ammeter of DC type over here. Okay, now I am showing you the connection. Please put your circuit diagram in front of you so that you will get the connection. This one is the supply. We are connected the supply to the input of the starter. So we are connected L1 to the L1, L1 to the L1, L2 to the L2, L3 to the L3. But here we are getting the rotation, means direction of rotor rotation in different direction, means in opposite direction as a reference. So we change the terminals. Okay, this one L1, L2 and L3 are the input of the starter. M1, M2 and M3 are the output of the starter. So by looking in the circuit diagram here, see M1 is connected, the input of the voltmeter is connected to M1 and the output of V2 is connected to C1 B2. Since we are having the stator winding in a delta connection, so we shorted A2 B1. See here, we shorted A1 C2 and we have shorted B2 C1. So we are connected the the terminal of M1 to the voltmeter, one side of the voltmeter, means the common terminal of the voltmeter, and second terminal of voltmeter is connected to either to the C1 or to the B2. Hence C1 and B2 are same, they are shorted. We have connected the ammeter over here between the M2 and C1 terminal. Okay, so this one is the ammeter over here. We are connected between the M2. This one is the M2 terminal. This is connected to the ammeter. This ammeter is AC ammeter because this one is connected to the stator side, and the second terminal of the ammeter is connected to the C1. Okay. we had done with the stator side connection. Now we move to the excitation circuit. So here we are having a armature is connected to the resistance R1, and R1 and R2 are internally connected. The output of R2 is connected to the field winding, and the Z, that is Z, and the output of field winding is connected to the armature second terminal, so that we get the complete circuit. See in the circuit diagram we are having, see, A is connected with the resistance is connected with the field winding, and the output of the field winding is connected to the output of armature current, means the second terminal of the armature. Okay, here we are using a DC ammeter and DC voltmeter. LL is the lamp load we are using here, but this is the lamp load we are using here as a load. Okay, see, this is the DC ammeter we are using. Here also we are using DC ammeter, and here we are using a DC voltmeter. So this side is the excitation circuit, and that side is the stator circuit. There we are using a AC voltmeter and AC ammeter. Here we are connecting the ammeter, that is the DC ammeter, between the between the L and A terminal. Here this ammeter is going to tell us about the field current. This ammeter measures the field current, and this ammeter over here at the stator terminal measures the armature current. So we have mainly used this two ammeter over here for the readings and to plot a V curve. So now we are going to start the experiment. We are connecting the TPST switch over here. We are switching on the main supply. We are switching on the excitation. By varying this knob, we are going to change the excitation. Machine is rotating. Now machine gets started. So here we can see that the excitation is minimum. We can say that it is at 0.4 approx, and we can see that here the armature current that will be at we are connected it for 20 amperes. Okay, to see the uppermost upper scale. Okay, so this one is a 9.2, approximately 9.2. Now we are going to vary the field current by varying that knob. Here see that we are varying the excitation current. It is moving. Yes, see here it is at 2.4 approximately. Here the armature current reduced. See the variation. Okay, when we increases the excitation, the armature current reduced and reaches to the 4. Again we are going to vary the excitation. Slowly we are moving the knob. See, it will be at 4 approximately. Okay, at 4 our armature current value goes to minimum, that is at 2. Okay, now again we are going to increase the excitation current. Yes, it is we are increasing. We are putting it at say it is at 6. Okay, now at 6 also, or at 6, see the difference, our armature current increases to 2.2. so we get that thing, when we increases the armature current, the excitation, that is the field current, the armature current started reducing first, and after the minimum value attained, it will increase again. We again increase the excitation. It will be approx to 8. So here we are getting the armature current to the 4.8. Okay. Again we are going to increase the excitation current to 10. Here we are getting the armature current to 8. So now with these readings we get I am going to plot a curve between the field current and the armature current. So here I am drawing a rough curve between the IA and IF. You can see that when IF increases, the IA current first reduced to the from 9.2 to the 2 minimum value, and then again gets increases by increasing the field current. So because of this shape only, we named it as a V curve. So by varying the now we are going to vary the load. We are taking it at a full load. I am going to switch on the lamp load. See, we switch on the lamp load. Now at that lamp load, at that load, we are going to check the armature current by varying the field current. Again, we are going to do the same. Here our IF, that is the excitation, is at minimum position. We are having a excitation at 1, and at that 1 we are having a armature current reading of 7.4, we can say. Now we are going to increase the excitation current, that is the field current. That is at we can say that it will be at 2 only. Consider it as a 2 only. And here we are having a we get the reading at 3.6, we have to measure from the upper scale, that is the 5.4. Now again we are going to increase the excitation. We are increasing, consider it as a 4.2. At 4.2 we get the value 3. Now again we are going to increase the excitation. At that excitation we are getting the value more than 3. So you can see that when we here the minimum value is 3. Okay, and now we are getting the armature current reading is at 4. Again we are increasing the IF, that is the field current. We'll take it as 8. Now here also we'll get the reading at 5.8. So here I am going to draw a rough diagram of between the IA and IF. Here we are getting the V curve like that. Here the minimum value is 3. Previously the minimum value were 2. So I want to show you that whenever we increase the load, firstly we took the reading at no load, and secondly we turn on the lamp load. So whenever we increase the load, the curve is shifted upwards. Okay, and this minimum point shows the unity power factor. This side is shown as a leading power factor curve. Okay, and this side is shown as a lagging power factor curve. So you have to draw the proper curve. We are having the readings. I took the readings. I had given you. See, I had given you the readings here and here also. So just note down the readings and draw a proper curve and attach it to your file. Okay. This is all for today's experiment. Okay. Thank you.